Okay, so I am headed over to meet the locksmith because I locked my keys in the house. I thought they were in my hand and I closed the house really well and then they weren't in my hand. And I guess it's good to know that it's going to be very hard to break into my house because I was not able to do it. I wanted to just break the handle off and replace it. My dad was like, no, you should break the window because that's cheaper to replace. You might break the door if you're going for the handle. And you know what? Found out it's only like 60 bucks they call a locksmith. So we're calling the locksmith and that's how we're gonna do it. So I'm putting on some sunscreen so I can go right over there. My wallet and my other keys are in the house. I haven't been able to use them for a couple of days. So I will be happy to be back in the house, and $60 is totally worth it. So I'm about to go over there and do that, and then my parents will be in town here shortly to help fix up the house some more. So it's going to be a very long Memorial Day weekend, but I'm excited to see the progress that we'll make by the end. So I will see you over there. It's like 98 degrees out. No, it literally is 98 degrees out. And I'm waiting at the house for the locksmith, but it smells a little bit like wastewater or whatever. Yeah, it smells a little bit like wastewater. And so I looked up how far the plant was, and it really isn't close. It's a plant that I've actually worked on improvements at that plant before, so replacing pumps and valves and things like that. Just went through the shirt. So yeah, it's, I don't know why I'm smelling that unless something's overflowing. There should be wastewater lines under here. I don't know. So it could just be like in the wind. It's getting blown over, from like, say there's a sewer line that's overflowed. And then the wind's just bringing the smell this way. So I'm gonna keep walking around, but it's just a very faint wastewater smell. But having worked at the plant before, I know exactly what that smells like. It ended up being more than $60. It was a little misleading the way she had told it to me on the phone, so I was not very happy about that. I did find out that if you need to bust out your lock and you're going to ruin your lock anyway, it's pretty easy to pull out the front part and then drill out where the screws are, which I had access to my drill, so if I had known that, I should have just gone forward with doing that. So lesson learned for next time. You might be wondering what we're doing here, and there was an old clothesline that was sticking up at these weird angles. It's probably left over from the 1950s and was all rusted out, so we dug it out as much as we could, and then my dad used the truck to yank it out the rest of the way. So it was fun, but I don't have the video of doing it because he just keeps working and I missed it.
Because there's a lot of heat coming in there from that roof. I don't know how we can take care of that.
Because I don't have insulation?
We've got insulation over the house. It's up in this one spot because there's been problems here in this one spot. Because there's a lot of heat coming in there from that roof. I don't know how we can take care of that.
Because I don't have insulation?
We've got insulation over the house. It's up in this one spot because there's been problems here in this one spot.
Having a truck is a lot of fun because you can just stick things in the back and then drive around. So I just did a Home Depot run to grab a different lock set for my back that actually fits, because the last lock set had two options for the bottom lock, a 2 3/8 and 2 3/4 offset for the hole. But on the top lock, it only had one of those, and that is not the one that is already drilled into my door. At some point, I will need to replace the door because I think it's ugly, but I did not want to do that job today. Yeah, and at some point, I'll get a screen door so that I can leave the door open, because I'm one of those people that likes to go without the AC or heat for as long as I can, because yeah, I just like the breeze coming through, and it feels like I'm saving the environment. Probably not, but I try to see as long as I can go without AC and heat, and the least amount that I can use it, because it feels more green. So I'm headed home. Oops, I'm getting a call. I gotta go. So the next thing that my dad really wanted to get nailed down while he was in town was the floor. I am having flooring people come and finish it, but he wanted to prep it because he's had some experiences where they come in and can see everything that's under the floor because they just don't prep it as well as you would. So he was literally down on his hands and knees, chipping away the grout on the hard to get places. We also were taking the crowbar and popping up the nails from the carpeting, so it's all sorts of manual work, and my dad is just a rock star. Meanwhile, we are still struggling with the locks, trying to get the lock all together and in the right spots and working correctly. This picture is the flooring that I ordered, and they came to the house to take all the measurements and brought the samples that I had selected in the store. I went to about 5 different stores to get the whole price ranges. I think I talked about that on a previous video. And when they came, they brought the samples so I could see them in the house. Not that it really mattered because the house wasn't painted or ready, but these were the color swatches that I had to choose from. He then took an angle grinder to it to grind it out so it would be flat wherever those cracks were. So moral of the story here is dads are really just rock stars all around.